The end of an era, a new world of travel for Americans. For generations, the American passport has been a symbol of freedom and opportunity, opening doors to adventures across the globe. It represented not just a document, but a ticket to explore new cultures, visit family and friends, and experience the world with minimal restrictions. For decades, Americans enjoyed the privilege of traveling to Canada or Europe with little more than a passport and a plane ticket. The process was simple, familiar, and often taken for granted. Whether it was a last-minute getaway to Paris or a spontaneous road trip to Montreal, the world felt open and accessible. Spontaneous trips and effortless border crossings were the norm, shaping our sense of global citizenship. Airports buzzed with excitement, and border checkpoints were often just a brief stop on the way to new experiences. This ease of movement fostered a spirit of adventure and connection with people from all walks of life. But as of September 18, 2025, that era has ended. A significant shift has taken place, changing the way Americans interact with the world. The days of simply showing up with a passport and breezing through customs are now behind us. Canada and the European Union now require electronic travel authorizations for U.S. visitors. This means that before you even board your flight or cross a land border, you must apply online, provide personal information, and wait for approval. It's a new layer of planning that every traveler must consider. These aren't traditional visas, but they mark a clear shift from the old visa waiver system. Instead of relying solely on your passport, you now need digital clearance, an extra step that signals a new era of travel security and oversight. The change reflects a global move toward tighter border controls and more data collection. Governments are increasingly focused on security, tracking who enters and leaves their countries, and using technology to monitor travel patterns. This is part of a worldwide trend toward digital borders and increased scrutiny. Our powerful passport no longer guarantees automatic entry. We're now part of a worldwide system of digital checks. Each journey requires more preparation, and travelers must be ready to adapt to new requirements and procedures. The sense of automatic welcome has been replaced by a need for vigilance and compliance. Understanding these new rules is essential for any American traveler. From knowing which forms to fill out, to staying updated on changing regulations, preparation is now key to a smooth journey. Failing to comply could mean denied entry or unexpected delays. In this video, we'll break down what's changed, what you need to do, and what it means for the future of travel. We'll guide you through the new requirements, offer tips for a hassle-free experience, and help you understand how these changes might affect your travel plans in the years ahead. The age of the informed, adaptable traveler has arrived. By staying prepared and embracing these changes, you can continue to explore the world with confidence, curiosity, and a sense of adventure, no matter how the rules evolve. A look back, the golden age of visa-free travel. Imagine a time when the world felt wide open and the barriers to international adventure were at their lowest. This was an era when travel was not just a privilege for the few, but an accessible dream for many. After World War II, Americans enjoyed unprecedented ease of movement to Europe and Canada. The devastation of war had given way to a spirit of optimism and rebuilding, and borders opened up in the name of peace and prosperity. For the first time, ordinary citizens could cross oceans and continents with little more than a passport and a sense of curiosity. Visa waiver agreements symbolized trust and friendship between nations, making travel spontaneous and accessible. These agreements were more than just paperwork. They were a handshake across borders, a promise that visitors would be welcomed, not scrutinized. Your passport was your ticket. No forms, no fees, just a simple stamp at the border. The process was quick, friendly, and often accompanied by a smile from a customs officer. For many, this simplicity was the very definition of freedom. This ease of movement fueled a boom in tourism, business, and cultural exchange. Families explored new countries, students studied abroad, and entrepreneurs built international partnerships. The world felt smaller, more connected, and full of possibility. But the world changed dramatically after 9/11. The sense of security that had defined the golden age was shattered, and new threats forced governments to rethink how they managed their borders. The U.S. introduced its own electronic travel authorization for visitors, setting a new global standard. Suddenly, travelers needed to plan ahead, filling out online forms and waiting for digital approvals before they could even board a plane. Security concerns grew, and the era of frictionless travel began to fade. Airports became places of long lines, strict checks, and heightened vigilance. The carefree spontaneity of travel was replaced by caution and compliance. Other countries soon followed, seeking more control and information about who entered their borders. Electronic gates, biometric scans, and digital records became the new norm, as nations prioritized safety over simplicity. The golden age of visa-free travel was slowly eroded by these new realities. The old faded passports now seem like relics of a more innocent time, replaced by high-tech documents and ever-changing procedures. Today's digital authorizations are the result of that gradual shift. While they offer convenience and security, they also remind us of what has been lost: the ease, the spontaneity, and the sense of adventure that once defined global travel. The world is more connected than ever before, with technology linking people and places in ways once unimaginable. Yet this connectivity comes with a new sense of caution and complexity. The foundations of easy travel have been replaced by new rules, new systems, and a new mindset. As we move forward, we remember the golden age, not just for its simplicity but for the spirit of openness and trust that made it possible. The Canadian conundrum: understanding the new ETA requirements. Visiting Canada once felt as easy as dropping by a neighbor's house. Now, Americans flying to Canada must apply online for an electronic travel authorization, or ETA. The process is quick: an online form, a small fee, and usually instant approval. The ETA is valid for 5 years and linked to your passport. Importantly, this requirement only applies to air travel. Land and sea crossings remain unchanged for now. Canada's goal is to screen travelers before arrival, streamlining airport entry and boosting security. For travelers, it's one more step to remember before booking a flight. The era of last-minute flights to Toronto is over. Digital paperwork is now part of the journey. Even with close allies, digital pre-screening is the new normal. Europe's digital gates, navigating the ETIAS system. Americans have long enjoyed easy access to Europe's Schengen area. No visas, just a passport. Now the European Travel Information and Authorization System, or ETIAS, changes that. Before traveling, U.S. citizens must complete an online application, pay a fee, and get approval. ETIAS is valid for 3 years and allows multiple entries, but forgetting to apply could ruin your trip. Most applications are approved in minutes, but some may take days. The EU's goal is to identify security risks before travelers arrive. Spontaneous European getaways are now a thing of the past. The process is simple, but the responsibility is on you to plan ahead. Europe's open gates now have a digital checkpoint. The new routine: apply, wait, and then go. These new travel rules reflect deeper shifts in global politics. Canada and the EU are responding to years of US border tightening by introducing their own digital authorizations. It's not retaliation, but a move toward reciprocity and sovereignty. The language is diplomatic. These aren't visas, just security measures. But the era of unwritten trust is over. Digital verification is the new standard. These systems also create vast databases of traveler information, raising questions about privacy and data sharing. Managing digital borders will test international cooperation. For Americans, it's a reminder that our passport no longer exempts us from global rules. Travel is now a more political act than ever before. Travel is a major economic engine between the US, Canada, and Europe. Americans spend billions abroad supporting jobs and industries. The new ETA and ETIAS fees are small, but the added step could deter some spontaneous or frequent travelers. Business trips and last-minute getaways may decline as a result. If the systems work smoothly, the economic impact will be minor, but confusion or delays could hurt tourism and business. Airlines and tourism boards are racing to educate travelers about the new requirements. Clear communication will be key to keeping the travel economy strong. What do the experts think about these sweeping changes to international travel? As new rules and technologies reshape the way we cross borders, a wide range of voices are weighing in, each bringing a unique perspective to the conversation. Dr. Anika Sharma, a respected international relations professor, describes this shift as inevitable. She explains that America has set the pace, and now its allies and partners are following suit. According to Dr. Sharma, this is part of a broader trend toward digitalization and increased security in global mobility. Meanwhile, leaders in the travel industry express concern about the potential for confusion, especially in the early days of implementation. They worry that travelers may be caught off guard by new requirements, leading to missed flights or denied boarding at the gate. The industry is calling for clear communication and robust support for passengers. Most experts agree that travelers will eventually adapt to the new systems, but they caution that the first few months could be marked by long lines, uncertainty, and frustration as everyone adjusts to the changes. Security analysts, on the other hand, emphasize the benefits. They argue that these digital systems allow authorities to screen travelers in advance, making borders safer and more efficient. They point to early data showing improved detection of security risks. However, privacy advocates are raising red flags. They warn that the massive collection of personal data could open the door to surveillance and misuse. These experts urge governments to put strong safeguards in place to protect individual rights. The debate over how to balance security and privacy has become central. Policymakers are now grappling with how to keep borders secure without sacrificing the freedoms and privacy travelers expect. Despite the headlines, surveys reveal that many Americans remain unaware of the new travel rules. Experts say more public education is needed to ensure a smooth transition. The consensus among experts is clear: digital authorizations are here to stay. Travelers will need to adapt to a new normal, where planning ahead and using technology are essential parts of the journey. The trade-off is becoming more apparent. Enhanced security and efficiency come at the cost of less spontaneity and more preparation. The challenge for governments and the travel industry is to make these new processes as smooth, transparent, and user-friendly as possible, so that travelers feel confident and informed every step of the way. Ultimately, the future of travel will depend on how well we manage these changes, balancing innovation, security, and the traveler experience as we move forward into a new era of global mobility. These new rules change more than just logistics. They reshape the travel experience itself. Travel once felt informal and personal. Now it's more structured and procedural. For those with family abroad, the added bureaucracy can feel impersonal. The end of spontaneity may lead to more planned, less adventurous trips, but it could also encourage deeper, more intentional travel. Travelers may invest more in learning about their destinations. The human connection remains, but it now requires more conscious effort. The way we cross borders is changing, but the reasons we travel endure. The world of travel has changed for good. Canada's ETA and Europe's ETIAS are now standard for Americans. Complaining won't help. Adaptability and awareness are essential. Always check official sources for the latest entry requirements before you travel. Don't rely on outdated advice. Rules change quickly. Make applying for authorizations part of your planning routine. Plan ahead. Spontaneous trips are riskier now. Keep digital and printed copies of your approvals. Take responsibility for your journey. Preparation is key. See this as an opportunity to become a more thoughtful, engaged traveler. Learn about the reasons behind these changes and the politics involved. With preparation, the world is still open, just a little less spontaneous. Happy travels.